personally by managing your attention and your time. In today's video, I'm going to share few concepts that make you increase your immunity against the incoming distraction whenever you're doing your focused work or the deep work. So let me share the 6-step formula to develop a distraction immunity. Let's start one by one. So number one is this: whenever we try to do something very focused, or whenever we try to do which requires our most concentration, effort and energy to in order to accomplish, it is most significant to us in professionally or the personally, then sometimes we given up to the incoming distraction in the form of people, in the form of our technology and devices, or even the environment, very rough and pressurized environment also get pulls our focus and concentration, what we are doing the task in a hand. And sometimes our internal thoughts, not sometimes but most of the time, we are get distracted by our own thoughts or our own philosophy itself. So let's start with the number one point. Once and foremost, first we have to be careful about incoming distraction. It means that we have to raise our consciousness so that we can bring our awareness to the available distractions whenever we doing whatever we doing for our purposeful meaningful work. The second thing is that if sometime if we can only control uh, what we can control by ourselves. We cannot control our environment. We cannot control if our addiction to the technology, or we are reliable on the most of the mobile or technology or our PC or internet itself. Then what happens is that we have to try. First step is to make ourselves so boring so that our work which is distracting us to do or to focus, which will become eventually a focused time. Because whenever you bore, suppose that you have to do nothing at all, you have to just watch in front of wall, or you do nothing at that time. If you introduce your focused work, it will become so interesting and you get away from your distractions. And the number two is that scrub your attention residue. What do you mean by that? Because if we switching more often between task to task or the screen to screen, or the we answering, or we make ourselves available to the distraction, at that time we are not working properly on our important task, but we switching our attention from task 1 to task 2, or activity 1 to activity 2. And in that, if we do simultaneously, if we do more often in this way, we work in a very divided attention span. So the attention residue, it means that if we switch between one task to second task, it means that where we are working on a first task, some kind of memories or some kind of inputs will remain in our brain, and that occupies our attention to focus where we were working on our previous task. And the third one is persist through the struggle phase. The first and foremost thing is that as soon as we start working, and we are so eager and we are so pulled away with a novel object present in vicinity of us, which is triggering us to do that thing and avoid some kind of work, because it is we resist to do the work on the first place. So we have to make conscious effort on do struggle phase. At least we have to stick to the task or stick to the activity at least for 40 to 80 seconds, more than 1 minute in the starting time, so that it will become it will create the momentum in our brain, in our mind, to do the work without any delaying, without any relying on the incoming stimuli. Number four is kill multitasking and commit to the monotasking. We always try to do lot of things in the same time, because everything seems like everything is very important to us. But on the real sense, we can become more productive, or we can produce the best result if we switch our multitasking mindset to monotasking mindset. Instead of we pulled our attention in a different direction, we have to keep our attention on particularly one task or the one activity where we can engage our all the senses to the finishing the project or finishing the task itself. So always try to do monotasking instead of multitasking. Fifth one is develop monk like impulse control. The being productive or the being focused is all it is not the just it not just the philosophy or the method where we can follow some kind of steps rigorously, but it's all bringing out our day-to-day behavior, our day-to-day attitudes with our time attitude with our priority. And anytime we get by caught by or trapped by our impulses, then we are going to distract ourselves more than anything else beyond our capacity itself. So here we can develop a monk like impulse control by bringing our awareness to the our urges to distract ourselves, our urges to check phone, our urges to check emails, our urge to available all the time for every time for all peoples or the all our colleagues. And for that we can put some kind of notification or the alarm in our watch itself, so that we can become more aware. And the last step is optimize your tech for the maximum productive or the maximum flow state. Because most of the time as a knowledge worker we working on the desktop, we working on the PC, and we always being pulls toward to check our mobile, whether it is in the form of message or any notification, because we think that we will left behind due to the lack of due to the fear of missing out. We always reaching out to the information because our brain is hardwired to grab the information which is think that it is very useful to our survival itself. So this is the sixth step where we can, if we do deliberately and we do mindfully on a daily basis, whenever we try to finish our focused work in the given time block, then this step definitely going to uh, increase our immunity towards the distraction, and we become more and more and more aware to all kind of distraction, and we will dig deep down to avoid, or we can control this distraction in the first place ahead of the time. I hope you got the point, and what you have learned so far, please let me know in the comment box, so that I can know from you as well. Thank you for watching, and this is Arkipal once again. I'm signing out. I will come back to more for the new topic to how to increase your productivity professionally and personally.